Do I have to commit myself to one topic and do the same thing over and over just to find my artistic handwriting? And if so, what is it? I'm interested in so many things. These are the things that have been going through my mind since I got serious about photography. These questions and doubts also intensified during the time when Instagram was at its peak and the biggest accounts simply worked with one single theme. I think we all know these videos that explain how you find your style or purpose in a few simple steps, and I have a kind of love-hate relationship with them because many of the tips are very valuable. But what the videos also have created in me is a lot of pressure. Pressure to find the one style or the one topic so that I can finally start taking off. I've been working with audio, video and photography for 25 years now, and it was only a few years ago that I found out what I really want and what really defines me, and what therefore defines my style. With this video I want to give you a few tips on how to find your own artistic voice and at the same time take some of the stress away from you, because once you've started thinking about it, you've already done one of the biggest parts of the progress. Okay, so how do you find your own signature as a creative? The most important tip first: take it easy. It took me years and I still wouldn't describe myself as having completely arrived. Your own handwriting can and should continue to evolve. But with this video I want to give you a small tool to figure out your own artistic voice. What makes it special? When you have time, sit down and write down on a piece of paper what defines you. And I don't mean the things that you did today or last year. What's important are the things that have always been with you, even since childhood. You will probably find the craziest mixes, and whatever you like is allowed. What fascinates you? What do you associate with positive feelings? If you are a more visual person, a collage can also make sense. It's important that you record all the main topics that you find fascinating on one sheet. Take your time with it, but also find an end. It's really only about the main issues, not the details. Sort out everything you just did to be cool or to belong to somewhere. Then let this list rest for a few days. Take it out again with a fresh head and look at it. You will find individual points that make sense together or that together explain themselves. For me, for example, it was cars, electronic music, colors. I've been interested in technical processes since childhood, trying to understand them and how something as soulless as technology can be used to create art. As a child of the 80s, my biggest influences in the childhood were things like E.T., Miami Vice, Ghostbusters and so on. These are the influences that form a foundation for my signature style. Of course, over time, other and more adult things were added. Mountain pass photography, for example, or the music of Rechenzentrum, abstract painting, but also hip-hop from the early 2000s and the aesthetics of music, graffiti and skate videos. To list all my influences would go beyond the scope of this video, but I will say this: it's totally okay that your influences come from all different corners, and every corner is okay. These are the things that define you. This leads us directly to point 2. Allow yourself some contradiction. If you are really only interested in one thing and can pursue it to the end, that's great. But many of us will have a lot of influences and the challenge of balancing them all. Or to reduce them in such an extent that your own portfolio somehow makes sense. Ignore algorithms and how they try to classify us into simpler categories than we are. Do you want algorithms or people to find you interesting? You can like operas and heavy metal, and your photography can incorporate all of that. A quick tip. On the business side, it definitely makes sense to have different portfolios. For example, I have separate portfolios for my automotive and travel topics. Too many topics only confuse customers, and that's why you shouldn't pitch everything in one huge package. However, The portfolio is a different topic than our basic artistic signature, because the goal is that at least for some eyes, there's a visual thread running through your work, and people recognize your photos regardless of whether they are two completely different genres. In short, your signature is not a box but a thread that runs through all your work, so you need the foundation of the influences that have inspired you throughout your life. Learn what you want. That sounds so much easier than it actually is. I spent the first 35 years trying to figure out what I don't want. Only now I am slowly getting to a point where I can put a more positive spin on this whole question and find answers to the question of what I want. I think you just need to have an overview for that, and time will help you with this. From all the things, especially your mind map of what makes you special, you can really start to develop projects. And maybe you will experience things that look better on paper, but if you check your portfolio to see whether the respective photo is really coming from your heart, you will see that your portfolio thins out quite a bit. And sometimes the technically best photos will drop out and photos will be added that may not be the very best, but are very personal ones. In addition, as you continue to take photos, you will realize what really fits to you and what suits your style. It's really important to me to mention that your artistic style is always evolving. Take a look at painters like Mondrian or Picasso. They may be known for individual parts of their career, but they had a wide variety of different themes and styles during their creative phases. Everything is allowed, and if I had taken a more relaxed approach to the subject, I would certainly have reached this point a few years earlier. So don't stress, you will find your theme. I hope I was able to help you with this video. Feel free to write me a comment if you have any tips and tricks for finding your own artistic voice. If you liked the video, please leave a like or subscribe. Until next time, ciao.